Okay, so the good news is, yeah, the back end is easier to deal with than the front end. And so there's only 8 systems that you need to run your business. Okay, there's 4 client-facing systems, there's 3 support systems, and then there's you as one more system. Okay, so you have these 8 down, you get these 8 down, and your back end is completely running. So, and we'll talk about this in detail. Okay, so these are the 8 systems. Okay, so the front end, right? This is what your client sees. Like these are all systems, right? This is all one like cycle, right? You lead generate, right? Your goal is to get a lead. You have lead generation systems. Then the lead comes in, then you have to have a system for converting that lead, right? So how do you have a consistent way to convert leads? That you give them an irresistible offer to get them to work with you, either buyer or seller, that ends in a signed agreement, right? Then you have a contract to close system where you're delivering amazing service that creates a raving fan, and then that person then goes into your client appreciation system, and you keep in touch with them, because then that and client appreciation is essentially another lead generation system, but it's so important that it's kind of off by itself. So and so clients, you do a client appreciation event, you get referrals, which is, going back into lead generation, and then you go through the whole thing again, right? This is essentially the hamster wheel, right? But we're setting up the systems to make it efficient, for you to do this front end part of your business. So these are the 4 systems that you need on your front end. Okay. And then your back end systems, right? Your back end is how you make your front end run as efficiently and as smooth as possible. So we're talking about, what are the tools, the tech and the automation that you need to help you be more efficient. So this is like your CRM. This is how you communicate with your team. Any kind of like automation that will just help you leverage and make you more efficient. So how do we put in the technology piece, right? And I think a big part of this really is your CRM, because for any agent, their CRM should be kind of like the number one system that they know how to use and know how to leverage. And so we talk a lot about that. Tracking numbers. I know people hate tracking numbers. People like your profitability, your lead generation, all of that. But all of that is so important to know if your business is actually profitable. Because I think a lot of times we have a shiny object syndrome, right? We're like, oh, let me try this new lead generation system. I just need one deal to pay it back. I think we've all told ourselves that with something new, like, oh, I just need to get one deal from this. But we really tracking those numbers and seeing like what are the highest return, what's the highest return on your investment, and how much are you spending in your business related to how much you're making. I think that's another huge part of this whole system, is that you could be making a lot of money, but then you could also be spending a lot of money. And if you're, spending as much as you're making, you're really not profitable, right? And so understanding how to track those numbers and how to track it in an easy way. And I think this is part of like why I started this whole business, is because I was selling these trackers, right, for real estate agents, but that's only one very small part of this whole ecosystem of setting up your backend systems. So tracking your numbers is really important. And then finally, that team collaboration, right? Essentially those two people that you need to run your business. And how do we hire them? How do we collaborate with them? How do we make it efficient in that way? And then that can, eventually expand bigger if you want to grow to a bigger team. So these are like the back end systems that you need, that your clients don't see directly, right? Your clients don't necessarily see your CRM, right? They never see your CRM, but that is a key tool for you to, talk with your clients, know who to follow up with, implement automation in there, all of those kinds of things. So this whole back end part of it really just helps your front end that your clients actually see. Okay. Okay. And then finally, the most important piece is you, right? And that's why it's in the center, right? Because you have to remember that this is your business, right? It's not your broker's business. It's not another agent's business that you see on Facebook, right? Like, oh, TikTok's working for them. I need to go try this. No, it works for their business, but what works for your business, right? So you guys have to figure out, like um, what what do you want from your business? What do you see your business looking like, right? And I'm giving you a vision for how I built my business and how I saw it. But you really have to do that for yourself, right? To make this for yourself, because systems only work if they work for your business. And I think that's the biggest challenge with systems, is that it's not going to work for every, one person's system will need to be tweaked to make sure that it works for your business. And that's kind of the challenge with systems, that we need to make sure that it does work for your business. But in order to do that, you need to know what you want your business to look like. And so that's a really important piece to this whole thing, because we can set up all the systems for a business, but if it doesn't work the way you want to work it, then you're not going to use it, right? So we want to make sure that you have a vision for that, and then you build your systems around the vision for your business.